When I told my parents I was starting an online business, they didn't even try to hide their disappointment. An online business? Selling what? Dreams? My father scoffed from behind his newspaper, not bothering to meet my eyes. My mother, more polite but no less condescending, offered a thin smile. That's nice, but don't you think it's time to be realistic? You still have your degree. You can apply for jobs. Just get something stable under your belt. Stable. That word haunted me. To them, stable meant safe, predictable, compliant. I wanted more. Not just money, freedom, time, autonomy. I didn't want to rot under fluorescent lights, building someone else's dream for the next 40 years. What they didn't see were the late nights where I stared blankly at my screen, wondering if I'd lost my mind. The tutorials I devoured, the courses I couldn't afford but bought anyway, the trial and error experiments that flopped one after the other. They didn't see me writing ad copy until 3 a.m., sending emails that barely got opened, crafting offers that no one bought. They didn't see me on the floor of my room, back against the wall, wondering if I'd ever make it out. They just saw me wasting time on the computer. People your age think they're all going to be millionaires from their bedrooms, my father grumbled one evening, flipping channels on the TV. No one wants to work anymore. I stopped telling them about my progress after that. When I launched my first product, an online course I spent months creating, I was proud of it. I got 5 sales in the first week. 5. They were small wins, but they were mine. I told my mom at dinner, smiling. She didn't even look up from her plate. 5 people? That's it? Well, don't spend it all in one place. That crushed me. She didn't mean to be cruel, I think. She just couldn't see the vision, couldn't imagine the spark I was chasing becoming a fire. So I shut them out. The next 2 years were a blur of failure and obsession. I freelanced to survive, drove delivery shifts on weekends, skipped birthdays, parties, entire summers. My friends stopped calling. I stopped noticing, but I kept going. Eventually, something started to shift. The lessons started clicking. I found my voice, my audience, my niche. The designs got better. The ads performed. The offers converted. I reinvested every dollar, refined the systems, and scaled. One month, I made $11,400. I stared at my Stripe dashboard, not blinking. It felt like fiction. When I told my parents, they didn't congratulate me. That's probably a fluke, my mother said flatly. Online money isn't real money until you can retire on it. It's gambling, basically, my dad muttered. Up one day, gone the next. But it wasn't gone. It kept growing. Month by month, my email list expanded. My sales multiplied. I hired a VA, then a video editor, then a copywriter. I moved out of the basement apartment and into a place with windows that let in real sunlight. I stopped chasing rent and started thinking about equity. Then came the moment that changed everything, a 6-figure launch. I didn't tell them, not right away. I just kept working. They only started paying attention when they saw what I was wearing, where I was going, when I paid for a family dinner without blinking, when relatives started asking me for advice. Suddenly, I wasn't the deluded dreamer anymore. I was someone. A success story, though they'd never use those words aloud. At Christmas, my dad pulled me aside, a glass of wine in his hand, smiling in a way that was unfamiliar. You know, he said, your mother and I were talking, maybe we could help you with the business. You've got something good going. We could invest, be part of it. Family enterprise, you know? I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Why now? I asked, keeping my voice even. My dad blinked, caught off guard. Well, you've made it. It's impressive. We just want to support you now. Be part of what you're building. I stared at him. This man who once told me I needed to stop playing pretend and get a real job. This man who rolled his eyes every time I tried to explain my vision. My mother chimed in from behind him, her voice sweet. We just didn't understand it back then, but now that it's working, we'd love to be involved, maybe help you grow even bigger. I set my drink down. I built this alone, I said. Every ad, every product, every campaign, you weren't there. You didn't believe in it. You made fun of it. You made fun of me. They both shifted uncomfortably. My mother looked away. My father's face stiffened. I hoped you'd be proud, I continued. I thought maybe when I made it, really made it, you'd say something. Like, we were wrong or we're proud of you. But you didn't. Silence. All I ever wanted was for you to believe in me, I said. Not in the money. Not in the numbers. In me. They had no words. Just stunned silence and wounded pride. I stood up, and the words came easy then. I'd rehearsed this in my head so many times over the years. I don't need investors. I don't need partners. I needed parents. And when it mattered most, you made it clear I was on my own. I walked away. That night, I sat in my apartment alone. No victory lap, no champagne, just quiet. I had everything I thought I wanted: money, freedom, recognition. But the kid inside me, the one who once ran home from school to show off his drawings only to be told to clean his room first, that kid had wanted one thing more than success. He wanted to be seen, to be believed in, to be told, "We're proud of you." That never came. And maybe it never would. But I'm done waiting. They didn't believe in the seed, so they don't get to eat the fruit, and that's something I can live with.